So in this video, we're going to talk about leverage. So in simple terms, your leverage allows you to trade larger quantities of price that your actual capital alone allows. So your leverage is basically your buying power. And there is a house example that's often used because it's simple to understand. So let's say you want to invest in a house to buy and then sell in a year's time. And to compare the difference between using your full capital, which is all the money you've got that you own, or leveraging money from a bank, we're going to use subjects A and B. So subject A has got $20,000 and decides to purchase a small property which costs the exact amount of his capital at $20,000. So he's got $20,000 and that's how much the property is, and he goes ahead and buys that property. And then we've got subject B. So he's also got $20,000, but the property that he wants to buy is actually $100,000. So what he does is he leverages by borrowing money from the bank to make the purchase. So let's say a year passes and the housing market is increased by 50% and both subjects sell their properties. So subject A makes a profit of $10,000 because remember, he bought his property for $20,000. It went up 50%, which is $10,000. And then we have subject B, who obviously he had $20,000 of his own money, but he borrowed money from the bank. His property was worth $100,000, so 50% increase is $50,000. So that's his profit. And basically, I'm going to show you it in the form of a leverage and how that worked. So subject A used a one-on-one leverage. They literally just had all of their money that they owned, and that's what they used to buy their property. However, subject B used a 5-to-1 leverage. So that means he's invested 5 times his initial capital. So he only had $20,000 as well. But what he done was he borrowed money from the bank to buy this property. And then obviously he made bigger gains in percentage increase as the house market went up. So let's now flip it, and we're going to use that example with trading because it's quite similar. So let's say you've got an account size of $1,000. And there's a few different ratios I'm going to give you an example of now. And it will help if you've went through the videos, pips and lots. It will make this seem a little bit more easier to understand. So you've got an account size of $1,000 and your leverage ratio is 1-to-1. So remember that housing example. So you're basically trading with the money that you've invested only. And because of this, you will only be able to enter trades using micro lots. All right, so micro lots are 1,000 units, which is 0.01 lot size. If you traded with a leverage ratio of 10-to-1, that means you can leverage your account 10 times more than your capital and use 10,000 units when you're trading. So that is mini lots. So you've got $1,000 in your account, but you're leveraging it as if you've actually got $10,000 in your account. Do you know what I mean? So then you've obviously got 10,000 units that you can start playing with. And then you're going to obviously make larger amounts of money. And then again, leveraging 100-to-1, that means you're leveraging 100 times your capital. And that means you can then trade with standard lots, which is 100,000 units. And your standard lots, if you're putting them in, it will be like 1.00. So when you're trading, we all know that, it's great saying I've made 10 pips or 20 pips, but let's say 10 pips. Let's say each one made 10 pips. All right. The first one used a micro lot of 10 pips. So if you've got a US dollar account, that's around 10 cents a pip. All right. So you've just made yourself $1. So you've got 10 cents a pip. You've made 10 pips using a micro lot. So you've just made 10 cents. And then you've got a ratio of 10-to-1. So you can actually use in a 0.10, which is $1 a pip. All right, and this changes for obviously different currencies and if you've got a different account, but like I said, we're just using this as an example for if you've got a US dollar account. So the 10 pips you've made the same as somebody else, but you've got a bigger lot size. So you haven't just made $1, you've actually made $10. And then let's say you leverage an account and it's 100 to 1. So we're on standard lot, so let's say 1.00. So we know that the pip value for that is $10 per pip. So 10 pips times $10 is $100. So each ratio is made 10 pips, but the amount you make is bigger because of your lot size. And your lot size is bigger because of your ability to leverage. All right, so I hope that's quite easy for you to understand. So when you do leverage account, you do risk losing a substantial amount of your capital. So it's not a case of, you're able to trade with 100 times your account, so you're going to owe loads of money. It doesn't really work like that. You're only ever going to lose your initial investment. But what happens is when your account reaches a certain percentage in drawdown, your broker will make what's called a margin call and will close your trades. Now, the margin call is basically to protect you from losing your account, but if you are over leveraging, that is going to take a massive chunk out of your account if obviously you're losing trades consecutively. So it is really wise to kind of have a think, see what kind of person you are, to work out what your risk level is going to be. So even though it can be great having a bigger leverage, you can grow your account quicker, there is also a massive risk of blowing your account. And unfortunately, we can't advise on which leverage to choose. This is definitely going to be just subject to the individual. But if you're still not sure and you would like to obviously discuss with someone in the team to help you make a decision, then of course, please do feel free to reach out.